Hello and salutations, everyone. Today is Friday. At the movie theaters, they're going to be showing Detective Pikachu. I'm going to head there in a few hours. I have some thoughts and some predictions on that movie. Now, Detective Pikachu, from what I understand about it, it's supposed to be a spin-off. Like a spin-off franchise of the original Pokemon. I believe I heard there were a few games that were released for the handhelds, like the Nintendo DS and the maybe 3DS. I don't know much about it compared to, say, the original Pokemon. And and no, I've given this some thoughts, and I think the movie studio and the directors, I think they chosen the right direction for this movie, going for an adaptation of the spin-off rather than adapting the original show. I mean, they could, but the thing is, I mean, Pokemon, it's a pretty big franchise with a long-running cartoon series. I mean, where should they start? Well, a silly question. Where should they start? Of course, they're going to want to, if they're going to adapt a movie from that, they would, I don't know, start from the beginning. But, thing is, it could be a challenge. I mean, I'm sure they could pull it off somehow. But, when adapting something like that, I have to think about, the stories, the characters, which plots to keep, which ones to put on the chopping block for the sake of time. So I think that with a spin-up directing the a movie based on the spin-off like Detective Pikachu, I think that gives them a bit of room to sort of develop a story for the movie, develop and the characters, the plots. Yeah. You know, looking at this movie, I was also thinking about the upcoming live-action Mobile Suit Gundam movie being helmed by Lionsgate, and I know that the movie is going to be based off the Universal Century timeline. For those who watch Gundam, you know what I'm talking about. But for those who don't know about the timelines of Gundam, see, Gundam, it's split up into different timelines with their own stories, their own characters, story arcs. Think of it like a Marvel, for instance. You got the Marvel Cinematic Universe with its timeline. You got the Phase 1, Phase 2 movies. And, I'm sure you heard of the TV show Legion on that shows on FX. It doesn't take place in the MCU. It's rather its own its own timeline, and it's I think that's a smart move for the two TV producers to have its own story arc rather than try to fit it into the MCU. Also the Joker movie, it's going to be its own timeline, and rather than have it be a prequel for the DC Cinematic Universe. I think that's the right direction to go with these movies. Have its own timeline, yeah, its own storyline to say. So yeah, for the Gundam timelines, you have the original Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 that was created by Yakiyushi Timoto. Yeah, he made the original Gundam, and think the second second most well-known Gundam show is Gundam Wing. You know, I remember that. I remember seeing both those shows on Toonami, and I think that Gundam Wing was more popular than the original Gundam. Insanely popular. Yeah, I mean, who could blame the people who watch the fans who watch? Well, I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm not surprised that Gundam Wing is more popular than the original because look at the mobile suits. I mean, just their designs. It's just I would say over the top. I mean, that one mobile suit with the miniguns, 4 miniguns, and the miniguns here. God, I would say any fanboy would just scream over that. I would want a model kit for that. But I would say I know that Gundam Wing, I know there may be some nostalgia for it, but it's weird because you expect such a show that's more popular than the original to have such a large cult fan base and huge nostalgia, but not really. It's not as much as the original Gundam. And I mean, yeah, it still has some fans, but I think other fans would recognize the Universal Century timeline more. Actually, there are a lot of fans of the Universal Century, of the UC. But yeah. Yeah, there's Gundam Wing, there's Gundam Seed, which is like the original UC, with some changes to the storyline. I saw Gundam Seed, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Liked the show. There is Gundam Seed Destiny. Now, from what I heard from that show, that is that people really didn't like it. How it pretty much just undone the storyline from the original Gundam Seed. And I haven't seen Destiny, but I don't know. Maybe I should see it for myself. Who knows? Maybe I'll watch it later on. There's Iron-Blooded Orphans, which is its own timeline. Yeah, and there's also Gundam Built Fighters. Yeah. So, yeah. What I want to say is, directing a movie based off the original Mobile Suit Gundam, it could be a challenge because the show itself, it's huge. It's got a huge story. The huge got some got like I want to say deep character developments, and some of that storyline and plots and character development may have to be cut in order to fill in the not fill in, just for the sake of time, the runtime, which wouldn't be surprising. But you know what? I also thought to myself, you know, there's also the OVAs, like 0080, War in the Pocket, 0083, Stardust Memory, which is serve as a prequel to Zeta Gundam. Yeah. Oh, there's a 08th MS Team, which I freaking love that show. I love both that and 0083. Oh, did you know that the animator for those shows also worked on Cowboy Bebop? Oh man, how awesome is that? Speaking of Cowboy Bebop, you heard about the Netflix live action? Oh boy. We'll just have to see how that turns out. I have to say, there's some controversy brewing around that adaptation when it came to casting. But anyway, um, I think the OVAs, those OVAs, could easily be adapted into live action movies, which could work. 008 MST, it could either be. I was thinking it could either be a movie or maybe a mini series like a Band of Brothers. Yeah. Seeing how it takes place in Southeast East Asia, and it adds a bit of realism with the mobile suits, using like guerrilla tactics, camouflage, camouflage. Man, let me tell you, those the RX, what is it, 78 ground units, with their paint schemes, they do not blend into the jungle well at all compared to the Zaku's. But yeah, the OVAs, they could be adapted easily, but uh, you really, yeah, that might be jumping the gun. You really can't adapt those without adapting the original show. So yeah, basically the OVAs, they serve to fill in the cracks, the gaps in the storyline, the main story. Like as I said before, 0083, which serves as a prequel to Zeta Gundam. Yeah. So, but with Detective Pikachu, it's its own. It doesn't branch off of the original Pokemon show. It's its own thing. It's its own story. So it's so I guess they had a much easier time adapting that into a movie. And actually, a Detective Pikachu, it's quite surprising to me. They would adapt it. Something tells me it's gonna be. It might be a success. It might be. Well, I'm gonna assume all Pokemon fans of all generations. The thing is, Pokemon itself, it's like a, I want to say a generational franchise, where each generation, like you got the, I don't know, you got kids from the '90s who watched it. I watched Pokemon. Man, what memories! You got some who were born in the mid to late '90s, the 2000s. Yeah, it's like it's a show that seems to appeal to all sorts of generations. Now, I haven't watched Pokemon in a while, so, but I could definitely see the appeal. I could definitely see it, and I could definitely see all sorts of people going to see this movie, from the old school fans to the I want to say the current generation, the millennials or Gen Z. Yeah. So yeah, can't wait to go see that movie. Now, for my predictions, I'll have a few predictions for that movie. Now, in the story involves the main character. I think that's the same guy from Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I think that's the same actor. God, I haven't seen Fallen Kingdom, but let me tell you that from the trailer, that the actor who played the nerdy character, well, the nerdy character himself is freaking annoying. He's supposed to be the character, the comedic relief, but it just ends up being annoying. And I'm pretty sure people who saw Fallen Kingdom wanted him to die, wanted him to get chomped in half by a freaking dinosaur. Jeez. But yeah, I think it could be the same actor. Now, the storyline is that it involves him and Pikichu trying to find his father, But something tells me, well, I thought about this, and this could be a bit dark. I want to say the father might end up dead all along. That's right. He was off maybe exploring something, and he died along the way. So, yeah, he leaves like a video recording, an audio recording to his son, saying how, oh, you'll be a great Pokemon master one day, son. You'll be one, or something like that. I know it's a little dark, but I hope I'm wrong. Yeah. Next prediction for the villain, the main bad guy. Now, I think the second trailer, and I think it spoiled it. I think it ruined the surprise. The showing of Mewtwo, the most powerful Pokemon to ever lived. I think it's the second trailer. I think it showed it. It spoiled it. It spoiled the surprise. But from watching that trailer, you would assume he's the main bad guy. He's the big cheese, the main villain. But you know what? It's too obvious. It's too obvious. Too predictable that he would be the main bad guy. I mean, look at Pokemon the first movie. I mean, it's obvious. The moment he showed up, it's obvious he was the main villain. So it's going to be too obvious here. I believe the villain, it's ambiguous, a little mysterious, that maybe he won't show up until maybe midway or near the end of the movie. Maybe get revealed in a plot twist that, I am the villain all along. Yeah. So yeah, having Mewtwo as the main bad guy, it's too obvious. He could be maybe a side villain, a minor villain. Well, if he was that, then that means he would only show up for maybe a few minutes of screen time. And to be honest, that would be disappointing because, well, I'm sure any fans of Mewtwo would want to see him kick ass, use his powers, man, do the Vulcan mind meld. So yeah. And my final prediction is with Psyduck. You see, Psyduck, I'm gonna predict. I'm gonna predict that he's gonna unleash his full powers. He's gonna unleash like everything. Because Psyduck, he always has that headache, and he has to relax. He has to be calm. He has to meditate. Has to be in his zen in order to not go psycho. But I believe the constant headaches he has are his psychic powers, because he's a psychic Pokemon. I think he's trying to fight against, trying to release that power. That's why he always has the headaches. But he can only fight against it for so long before unleashing. I remember from the first trailer, we see our characters running away from hills, big hills, mountains, being turned over like a freaking tsunami wave. So yeah, that could be his doing. That is, his powers is so great that it could literally move mountains. Just literally. Yeah. So yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna make another prediction. There's gonna be an end credit scene of And in that scene, it's gonna tease Team Rocket, and it might tease Jesse and James. I wouldn't be surprised if that were to happen. Man, what a surprise, huh? What a surprise. So yeah, that's it for this video. That's my my thoughts, my predictions for the movie. Yeah, bit of a long ramble, but had a lot to say. So yeah, gonna go see the movie. Can't wait. I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it. Well, hope you like this video. Till next time.